with NewCo existing, what are its sources of revenue going to be going forward? Obviously, for those, I understand that for borrowers that make the election, they'll be receiving interest payments. They're obviously going to be deploying some level of crypto, I'm assuming. And then the rest of it is Bitcoin mining operations. Are those the three primary buckets of revenue?
I think the other one that I would mention, David, is a staking business, which is I think the plan is to bring that in-house and to run a staking operation, staking the company's ETH coins. And then I think it's on page 7 of the deck. They've got a lot of very interesting and exciting ideas on how to build this out and to introduce new value accretive businesses to NewCo. And I think that that's one of the things that they are very excited to speak with everybody about. The MST is going to be one of the two tokens that's received by earn holders or borrowers that elect in for treatment fee. The MST is going to pay a dividend of 50 basis points off of the value of the corporation. The value of the corporation will be determined by an accounting firm, an auditor, and a bank. It's not going to be just pulled out of thin air. NovaWulf will be compensated. We're still nailing down the details of this, but it's going to be through, I think it's a preferred equity interest or some sort of other interest in the corporation. And they're going to be paid a fee for managing the corporation. That fee is based off of market comps. We think it is comparable, and to be honest with you, we've beat them up a lot over that fee. And the fee is going to have to be put before the court and approved in connection with the plan term sheet and a plan sponsor agreement that will likely be put forward. At this point, they have not signed on the dotted line. We have not signed on the dotted line. So I don't want to get into the specific quantum of it, but it is in the realm of a competitive rate for similarly situated corporations of this type. And that part's going to have to be approved by the court. To answer your question about who's going to manage this fund, it's going to be NovaWulf and the principals that are going to be managing the assets of the fund.
So they're going to be actively operating the operating company?
Correct.
Okay. So I know that others have raised in terms of their compensation, that it be directly tied to the performance of the assets as opposed to the underlying appreciation of the digital assets. Just because Bitcoin doubles in price doesn't mean their US dollar equivalent fee should double. That's been a big concern that's been mentioned.
So how we've attempted to work that is to align incentives, right? The fee is going to be based off of initially the value of the corporation, and then over the first 4 years, it's going to transition to being based off of the value of the equity token. And so whenever we think about NovaWulf and their incentives, we want to make sure that they are incentivized to make that token as valuable as possible for everyone that's holding it.
No, I understand that. But, if I look at equity incentive plans that what I think of good boards pass, they basically will often index to either, S&P appreciation or a peer group of companies that you have to outperform in order to get your performance fee. And so I'm suggesting that since there's, digital assets are a big portion of the net asset value, if the net asset value is going to be calculated on a mark-to-market basis, which is what I assume the accounting firm will do, that a similar construct be used to take out the base appreciation and only look at what the appreciation in the number of coins are, for example. And then it sounds like the MST is purely for the earned creditors. And then there's another class of security, the preferred, that NovaWulf is actually going to get. And so there has to be I'm assuming there's got to be some valuation process where the 45 to 55, I'm assuming is the basis for giving them the preferred, that they're being valued at that. And then the equity share tokens, I'm assuming, are probably lower in priority to the preferred. And then they're going to have to get valued also, and how those relative valuations are reached is going to be important to us, as well as the relative rights between the two classes.
Right. So I think you're putting your finger on a lot of important issues that we're currently working out right now. I said preferred equity investment. We're figuring out how to best structure the compensation to NovaWulf for managing the fund. It may be that it's not preferred. It may be that it is, but this is kind of the active discussions which are going into trying to document and get to these final documents. So the points that you're raising are certainly not lost on us, and it's been part of the negotiations between the debtors, the UCC, and NovaWulf that we've been having over the past month or so.